Chapter 3, out of my book Finding Peace Beyond Anxiety, Burnout, when the nervous system runs out of energy. Part 1, why modern life drains our vitality. In recent years, a word has become very common in conversations about health and well being: burnout. Many people recognize the feeling immediately when they hear the word. It is the sense of being completely drained, both mentally and physically. A feeling that even small tasks require enormous effort. A feeling that the energy that once carried you through the day has slowly disappeared. Burnout does not arrive suddenly like a storm. It usually develops quietly and gradually over time. At first, we may simply feel tired or slightly overwhelmed. We assume that a few days of rest will solve the problem. But as weeks or months pass, fatigue deepens, concentration becomes more difficult, motivation fades. Even activities that once brought joy may begin to feel like a burden. Many people in this situation feel confused. They may wonder, why do I feel so exhausted when I have not done anything unusual? The answer often lies in the way our nervous system has been working for too long without sufficient recovery. The nervous system, our internal energy manager, our nervous system is one of the most remarkable systems in the human body. It constantly monitors our environment, our thoughts, and our physical condition. When the nervous system senses pressure or danger, it activates the stress response. This response prepares the body to act quickly and efficiently. Energy is mobilized, the heart beats faster, muscles become alert. This reaction is extremely helpful in short bursts. However, the nervous system is not designed to remain in this state all the time. Modern life often keeps us in a continuous cycle of stimulation. Emails and messages arriving every minute, news that constantly speaks of crisis and conflict, busy schedules and responsibilities, social expectations and financial pressures. Our brain receives these signals as ongoing demands for attention and action. When this continues for long periods without enough recovery, the nervous system eventually becomes overworked and depleted. This is the moment when burnout begins to appear. When the body signals enough, burnout is not a personal failure. It is the body's way of saying, I have been working too hard for too long. The body begins to send signals that it needs rest and restoration. These signals can appear in many ways: persistent fatigue, difficulty concentrating, loss of enthusiasm, sleep disturbances, increased irritability, feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Some people also experience physical symptoms such as headaches, digestive problems, or muscle tension. In my youth, I have had 3 times a burnout, even thought the word didn't exist yet. Crying was intense when the bucket was overloaded, and my world collapsed and I felt completely lost. It took months before I was able to step into full action and continue working and get my emotions balanced. Nowadays, modern culture often encourages constant productivity. Many people ignore these signals at first. They try to push through the fatigue, believing that more effort will solve the problem. But burnout cannot be solved through more pressure. It requires a different approach, one that allows the nervous system to recover and restore its natural balance. The energy we often forget. In my work as a life and energy coach, I have often seen how burnout is connected not only to physical fatigue, but also to a deeper depletion of life energy. When we are inspired, curious, and emotionally nourished, our energy flows naturally. We feel creative and motivated. But when stress continues without relief, that flow of energy becomes restricted. life begins to feel heavy rather than exciting. Many people describe this experience as if their inner battery has run down. The good news is that this battery can be recharged. Our body possesses remarkable abilities to restore energy when we give it the right conditions. Healing begins with awareness. The first step in recovering from burnout is not forcing yourself to do more. It is recognizing what your body is trying to tell you. Sometimes this means slowing down and honestly asking yourself a few gentle questions. Have I been carrying too much responsibility? Have I given myself enough time to rest and recover? Have I allowed moments of joy, creativity, or quiet reflection in my life? These questions are not meant to create guilt. They are simply invitations to become aware of how your energy is being used. Once awareness appears, change becomes possible. Modern life often pushes us into constant activity. Try introducing small pauses throughout your day. Take a few minutes to step away from your tasks. Breathe slowly. Allow your body to relax. These short moments of calm tell your nervous system that it does not need to remain in constant alert mode. 2. Restore your breath. When we are stressed or exhausted, breathing often becomes shallow and rapid. This sends signals to the brain that something is wrong. Slow, deep breathing has the opposite effect. It activates the calming part of the nervous system. Even 3 or 4 slow breaths can begin to shift your body toward relaxation. 3. Reduce unnecessary pressure. Many people experiencing burnout are highly responsible individuals who try to meet every expectation, but not every task is equally important. Ask yourself gently, what truly needs my attention today? Allow yourself to release or postpone activities that are not essential. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is necessary for your well being. 4. Nourish your body. When energy is low, the body needs supportive nourishment. Choose foods that give stable energy, such as vegetables, healthy proteins, and natural foods. Drink enough water and avoid excessive sugar or caffeine, which can push the nervous system into further imbalance. Your body is trying to recover, and good nutrition supports that process. 5. Create small moments of joy. Burnout often narrows our attention to responsibilities and problems, but small moments of joy can begin to reopen the flow of energy. This might include listening to music, walking in nature, creating art, spending time with people who uplift you. Joy does not have to be large or dramatic. Even simple pleasures can gently recharge the nervous system. 6. Allow yourself to rest. Perhaps the most important step is learning to respect the body's need for rest. Rest is not laziness, it is an essential biological process that allows the nervous system, brain, and body to restore their strength. When we allow true rest, the body begins its natural repair work, a new relationship with your energy. Burnout often teaches us something valuable. Our energy is not unlimited. Just as we care for a garden by watering and nurturing it, we must also care for our own energy. By learning to listen to the signals of your body and nervous system, you can begin to create a life rhythm that supports both productivity and well being. Take care of yourself before life takes you away. A gentle mantra for restoring energy. When you feel exhausted or overwhelmed, take a slow breath and repeat these words quietly to yourself. Allow them to soften the tension in your body and remind you that recovery is possible. I allow myself to slow down. My breath restores my calm. My body knows how to heal. Day by day, my energy returns. Chapter 4, out of my book Finding Peace Beyond Anxiety. the body mind energy connection. Why anxiety is not only in your mind. For many years, people believed that anxiety was purely a mental problem. If someone struggled with anxiety, the assumption was that something in their thinking must be wrong. The solution was often to simply think differently or try to worry less. But modern science and many ancient healing traditions now understand something very important. Anxiety is not only a mental experience, it is a whole body experience. Your thoughts, your emotions, your nervous system, your hormones, your muscles, and even your breathing are all deeply connected. When one part of the system becomes disturbed, the other parts quickly react. In other words, your mind influences your body and your body influences your mind. When you feel anxious, it is not just happening in your head. Your entire body is responding to signals that it believes indicate danger. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tighten, your digestion slows down, your body is preparing to react, to run away, or to defend itself. This reaction is completely natural. It is a survival mechanism that has helped human beings stay alive for thousands of years. However, in our modern world, the triggers of anxiety are often not physical dangers. They are emotional pressures, worries about the future, or constant exposure to stressful information. The body does not easily distinguish between a tiger chasing you in the forest and a frightening headline on the evening news. Both can activate the same biological stress response. When this stress response remains active for too long, the body becomes exhausted. And this is where many people today find themselves. They feel tense even when nothing dangerous is happening. Their minds continue to worry, their body remains on alert, and they struggle to relax. But there is another dimension that is often overlooked when discussing anxiety. It is something that many ancient healing systems have understood for centuries, and that is the role of life energy, the flow of life force energy. Across different cultures and traditions, people have described the presence of a natural life energy that flows through the human body. In China, it's called qi. In India, it is known as prana. In Japan, it is referred to as ki. In my own work, I often call it life force energy. This energy is not something mystical or mysterious, it is simply the vital force that keeps our body alive and functioning. You can think of it as the energy of life itself. Every heartbeat, every breath, every cell in your body depends on this energy. When life force energy flows smoothly through the body, we tend to feel calm, clear minded, emotionally balanced, physically energized. But when stress accumulates, the flow of this energy can become disturbed. Stress creates tension in the muscles, restricts breathing, and activates the nervous system. All these reactions interfere with the natural flow of energy within the body. Over time, this energetic disturbance can lead to emotional symptoms such as anxiety, irritability, mental exhaustion, feeling overwhelmed. It can also lead to physical symptoms such as headaches, digestive problems, fatigue, and sleep disturbances. In my experience as a life and energy coach, I have seen again that when people learn how to restore the flow of their life force energy, their anxiety often begins to decrease naturally. Their breathing becomes deeper, their body relaxes, their mind becomes quieter, and they begin to feel more connected to themselves again. Chapter 4, out of my book Finding Peace Beyond Anxiety, the Body Mind Energy Connection. Second part, how stress blocks the natural energy flow. Imagine a small mountain stream. When the water flows freely, the stream is clear and lively. The water moves easily around rocks and plants, nourishing everything along its path. But if something blocks the stream, perhaps fallen branches or debris, the water begins to stagnate. The flow slows down. The water becomes cloudy. Sometimes it even begins to overflow in unexpected directions. In a similar way, chronic stress can create blockages in the body's natural energy flow. Tension builds in the shoulders and neck, breathing becomes shallow. The nervous system remains in a constant state of alertness. Little by little, the smooth flow of energy becomes restricted. When this happens, people often report a feeling stuck, drained, restless, emotionally unstable. Anxiety can be one of the signals that the body's natural balance has been disturbed. The important thing to understand is that this process can also be reversed. When we create conditions that allow the body to relax and the nervous system to calm down, the flow of life force. Energy begins to restore itself. This is why practices such as breathing exercises, mindfulness, gentle movement, meditation, tapping techniques, and energy awareness exercises can be so powerful for reducing anxiety. They help remove the blockages created by stress and allow the body to return to its natural state of balance. Listening to the body's signals. One of the most valuable skills you can develop is learning to listen to your body. The body is constantly communicating with us. It sends signals when something is out of balance long before a serious problem appears. Unfortunately, many people today are so busy that they ignore these signals. They push through exhaustion, they ignore tension headaches, they dismiss feelings of overwhelm. Eventually, the body becomes louder in its messages. Anxiety can be one of those messages. Rather than seeing anxiety as something that must simply be suppressed or fought against, it can be helpful to view it as a signal from the body asking for attention and care. This does not mean that anxiety should control your life, but it does mean that it may contain useful information. Perhaps you need more rest. Perhaps your schedule is too demanding. Perhaps you need to release emotional tension that has been building for a long time. When we approach anxiety with curiosity instead of fear, we often discover valuable insights about what our body truly needs. Reconnecting with your natural calm. The human body has an extraordinary ability to restore balance. Just as the stress response can activate quickly, the body also has a natural relaxation response. When this relaxation response is activated, the nervous system begins to calm down. Heart rate is slowing, breathing deepens, muscles relax, the mind becomes quieter. In the next chapters, you will learn several techniques that help activate this calming system. We will explore breathing methods that relax the nervous system, the role of the vagus nerve, which acts as the body's natural calming switch, mindfulness practices that quiet anxious thoughts, life force energy exercises that restore inner balance, tapping techniques that release emotional tension. Together, these tools form a powerful system for reducing anxiety and restoring emotional resilience. A simple awareness exercise. Before moving forward, I would like to invite you to try a short awareness exercise. Find a comfortable place to sit for a moment. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Then gently exhale through your mouth. Now bring your attention to your body. Notice any areas where you feel tension. Perhaps your shoulders are tight. Perhaps your jaw is clenched. Perhaps your breathing feels shallow. Without trying to change anything yet, simply observe these sensations. Your body is speaking to you With your next breath, imagine that the tension in your body begins to soften slightly. You do not need to force anything. Just allow a little more space for relaxation. After a few breaths, slowly open your eyes. This simple practice may seem small, but it is the beginning of an important shift. You are learning to reconnect with your body and your natural life energy, and that connection is one of the most powerful antidotes to anxiety. When the flow of energy returns, the body remembers how to heal and the mind remembers how to be still.